G'day everybody, it's me again. The neglected forklift is being sold, so we needed to get it all up to scratch. And we pulled it out of its little hidey hole over there, and brakes were seized. Made a big mess everywhere trying to drag it around, trying to undo it. And it didn't happen, so I'm going to have to do it the old fashioned way. I'm going to pull it apart. Now, first little trick if you're ever working on a forklift, you need to get the front wheels off. Most masts, you'll be able to tilt them forwards enough with a block of wood underneath to actually lift the front wheels off the ground just enough if they're solids. You'll be able to remove them. It's a neat little trick I learnt when I was a forklift mechanic. And now what I'm going to do is I have to knock that centering out. Obviously the axle goes in between. We're in the middle of all that. Got to knock these with a screwdriver and a hammer, loosen that off, wind it off, and then I'll be able to get a puller on there and start pulling the drum off, hopefully. Don't know how we're going to go with that, we're going to see. But the pads are seized right out against the drum. They're holding it in place pretty solid. So we're going to have some fun and games. It's quite a decent thick spline on that drive shaft. Or half shaft, goes into the diff centre. Very simple, just like a truck or a car, but you know, sort of kind of heavy duty but narrower. And yeah, we'll see how this comes apart. There we go, got the wheel bearing out, of decent size. The cone bearing. Probably needs a re-grease, doesn't feel too sloppy, could use some grease, but other than that, seems to be working okay. Yeah, not too sloppy at all. Of course, this kind of bearing, once they go inside the housing, they get the preload put on them, they hold themselves together properly. So yeah, now I've got the mission of actually trying to make a puller to pull that drum off. So that's going to be the interesting part here, fellas. I'm going to have to figure something out here, make a little puller. I'll show you how I go. Okay, so I've devised a little plan here. I'm going to weld these 2 bits of angle onto those 2 big nuts, which will give me something to grab onto. Then I've got a 3rd bit of angle I can put in between them, and that will act as a like a stop, and then I'll be able to put a porta power or something along the lines. I'll put a bit of block of wood up against that, put the porta power in here, and obviously you've got 2 rails coming out either side, and the porta power goes in the middle, and then it should be able to pull it off, I hope. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Should work, can't see why it wouldn't. Just gonna have to weld it up. So while I'm welding, obviously I won't be able to use the camera, so I'll just do that and then I'll show you the results. Alrighty, so there's the framework all welded up, the jack, and that socket there I'm going to use to protect the axle, and then let's see how this works. It should work fucking perfectly. Now, don't you just love it when things just work? And points for anyone who knows which ad that came from. But anyway, a couple of pumps, put a bit of pressure on it, just jumped off. Just comes off by hand now. So I would say that is success. Yep. There we go. Success. It's off. Now I get to unseize everything inside, get rid of all the rust. Probably have to give the drum a good scrape out inside, and then that's it. So saved myself a hell of a lot of heartache, didn't have to spend any money. Bits of scrap metal and an old jack. Well, it was all scrap actually. Jack is scrap even, so yep, all done. I won't bother showing you how this goes back together, it's pretty boring. But the main point of this video is to show that I was going to construct a puller. Well, it wasn't really at the start, but in the end it became. And looks like we're done. So thanks for watching.